Ever thought passive investing was the easy way out? Think again. Hey there, savvy investors. Today we're tackling some of the biggest myths about passive investing that Goldman Sachs says you need to get over. From distorted valuations to the alleged market concentration, we're diving deep into what's really happening in the investment world. Stick around to uncover the truths that could change how you view your portfolio. Let's imagine passive investing like a bus ride. You hop on and it takes you where you need to go without much fuss. Now, some folks say this bus is causing all sorts of problems in the investment city. But is that really the case? Here's what Goldman Sachs found. Myth 1. Passive investing fuels the rise of the Magnificent Seven. You've heard of these tech giants, right? Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, and the gang, often called the Magnificent Seven. Some people blame passive investors for their dominance in the market. But here's the twist. Passive funds actually own less of these stocks compared to the average S&P 500 company. Imagine you're at a party and everyone's talking about these 7 cool kids. You'd think everyone would be crowding around them, right? But no, passive investors are more like the wallflowers, not giving them any more attention than the rest. Myth 2. Passive investing distorts stock market valuations. Now, there's this idea that passive investing is like a chef who keeps adding more and more spices to a dish, making it too rich. But Goldman Sachs did a deep dive, and guess what? It's not the passive investors seasoning the market. Fundamentals like earnings growth and profit margins are the real chefs here. They found that stocks with high passive ownership didn't consistently outperform those with low passive ownership. It's like saying the size of your car doesn't determine how fast you can drive. It's all about the engine and the road conditions. Myth 3. Passive investing causes stocks to move in lockstep. Here's a fun one. Picture stocks as dancers on a dance floor. Some say passive investing makes them all move in sync, like a choreographed dance. But that's not what's happening. Since the mid-1990s, the correlation within the S&P 500 has been all over the place, like a dance floor where everyone's doing their own thing. Real estate stocks, for instance, have the highest passive ownership, yet they've lagged behind the S&P 500 this year. So, stocks aren't really moving in lockstep. They're just doing their own thing, regardless of who's watching. So, what's the takeaway? Passive investing isn't the market villain it's often made out to be. It's more like a trend that's reshaping the investment landscape, but not in the ways many fear. Passive investing's growth. Over the past decade, passive funds have seen an influx of $2.8 trillion, while active funds have seen outflows of $3 trillion. It's like people are choosing the bus over a taxi, not because the taxi's bad, but because the bus is cheaper and gets you where you need to go. Active management's evolution. Not all active management is dying. Actively managed ETFs are growing, showing that there's still a place for active management, just in a different form. The key idea is understanding that passive investing isn't the market's bogeyman. It's a tool, just like any other, and knowing how to use it can be the difference between a smooth ride and a bumpy one. To wrap up, passive investing has its myths, but they're just that, myths. It's not distorting valuations, causing market concentration, or making stocks move in lockstep. Instead, it's providing a low-cost, efficient way for investors to gain market exposure. If you've got more questions or myths about investing, hit that subscribe button and watch our next video where we'll debunk even more investment myths. Don't miss out.